There really isn't any reason why this week's pick to kick off the new year is about Schmidt. I mean, a case could be made that this story, which opens with Warren Schmidt's retirement, is the start of new beginnings. But you know what? Honestly, I was just in a Jack Nicholson mood. Yeah, I miss seeing the guy on screen, so I wanted to watch a flick that I'd yet to see him in. So here it is. Happy New Year and welcome to Debt to Cinema. I'm Stephen Maltmanex.
And I'm Brian Gillis. Like most people, we love going to the theater and catching the latest releases. However, it can sadly put a big dent in your wallet.
Fortunately, living in the digital age makes the viewing possibilities endless from the comforts of home.
Many of these films that you can see right from your couch, we're ashamed to say we miss, despite labeling ourselves cinephiles.
So join us as one or both of us cross off a title from our list of shame.
It can be an all-time essential classic,
or an underrated piece of cinema that's worth giving a shot.
Hell, it might just be some trashy film we want the other's opinion on. So sit tight and join us as we pay off our debts, $1 at a time.
My name is Warren R. Schmidt. I am 66 years old and recently retired. Helen and I have been married 42 years.
Don't dilly-dally.
Lately, I find myself asking the same question. Who is this old woman who lives in my house? But then there's Jeannie. She's our only. Recently, she got engaged. I think she could have done a heck of a lot better.
It's not a pyramid scheme. A lot of people think it's a pyramid scheme, but it's not.
People used to raise their eyebrows because I breastfed him until he was almost 5, and I say, well, you just look at the results. My father didn't think so much of you at first.
So, I mean, I'll just say it right out. Not exactly the happiest way to start the year. I just,
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe I could have done a better pick since you had perfect timing with Strange Days, but I don't really regret it, honestly. I did think that this was actually a great movie.
I liked it, but I mean, it is an Alexander Payne movie. Like, I think everything outside of Election, well, I still haven't seen Citizen Ruth, but everything besides Election, I know you haven't seen that. You should have picked that instead.
I think I've only seen Nebraska and The Descendants, and
now this.
That's it. Yeah, now this.
Huh.
I don't know if Sideways should count because I know I sat down and at least saw part of it, but I really don't remember it.
Well, Sideways is kind of missable. You have to be a certain age, and if you drink wine or you're a writer, you get more from it. But anyway, like everything that he's done besides Election is very downbeat and kind of hard to get into. You have to be in the right mood, and I'm kind of with you here. I wasn't exactly in the right mood for this one. I mean, I watched Spectre earlier today, but I didn't disenjoy it. It was interesting. I mean, altogether, this is just a vehicle for Jack Nicholson, if anything.
I mean, yeah,
if you like him, then you're probably going to like this.
Well, this is absolutely, like, just kind of a downer of a movie, but, you can't help but watch it right away. Just those shots of Omaha, just how the streets are empty and just everything's very gray and empty. It's very quiet. It's hard to not pay attention. I don't know why that, it's a very minimal effect that works for me. And I guess it's the promise that I'm getting a Jack Nicholson performance along with it, but I don't know. I thought that was an interesting way to open it with showing Omaha like that because it's not
series of angles.
Well, I mean, not only that, but everything. It looked like a ghost town, and that is
it kind of is.
Well, Omaha's got like around 500,000 people. I think it's not that empty at all. It's definitely a business type city, but it really did set the tone real well for just what this guy's life is going to be like now. I mean, it's really, retirement is, I know that a lot of people look forward to it, but it just sounds depressing as shit to me. And I mean, yeah, this movie just kind of more than confirms that. Yeah.
I mean, this movie's more than just a retirement movie, even though it starts with that. The way I saw it, it's just like a series of shit things that happens to this Schmidt character. Like from the opening of his retirement, which you gain to understand he doesn't approve of and he's not looking forward to, to like his first line of dialogue. It takes like 5 minutes is him telling his wife that he has to go, and then once he gets a drink by himself at his retirement party.
Yeah, this is a guy that this is what I love about Jack Nicholson's performance is it's a guy that you feel really bad for, and yet at the same time he's a fucking asshole.
I wouldn't call him an asshole.
No, big
he
time.
hasn't found himself as a person yet.
He is very selfish, though. At the same time,
oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's that thing specifically with the casket where he's just like, hey, I bought her that Winnebago, so don't complain to me. No, she said she paid for half of that. Well, it's her money, what was I gonna do? Stop her from doing that? I don't know. It's little things like that, and then at the same time,
You got the cheapest casted. That's not true. He showed me one that was cheaper. I
yeah.
said, no way.
No, I mean it's. I
Like,
think.
with the exception of like one scene in this movie where I was laughing out loud, the grocery scene, like it's pretty straightforward, like pretty honest and humble, and just like Jack Nicholson being. I was reading that when Alexander and Payne met with him before they entered production, he just told him, "I want you to play a small man," and that's kind of what he is. It's like there's nothing grand about him. He's never accomplished anything. He had ambition, but it went out the wayside. Like the best thing about this guy's life is that he woke up watching one of those for 5 cents a day. You can help a starving kid in Africa.
Yeah, which I guess I'm assuming that that place is legit because I told you that I watched this on a cassette tape because that's what I had. That's part of
Was
why.
there an ad for that before?
Yeah, no, right before it said
Awesome.
it said check it out after the feature for a program about the organization that's featured in the movie, and I didn't fast forward it to that part, but I'm guessing they're happy. Maybe they got a few more donations in after this.
More than that, like I was reading the trivia section on IMDb. The cast and crew pitched in, and they got a lifetime donations for an actual Ndugu through that actual organization.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I'm glad because I'm hesitant on stuff like that. I always think like, it's like if what was that story? Someone donated like $1 million to Red Cross, and Red Cross just used like 90% of it to give their employees bonuses rather than.
Well, I mean that's Red Cross though. That's not the people. I mean here.
But organizations tend to be sketchy though. That's the thing. You can never be careful. I forgot the name, but
It's like America Cares or something like that. Apparently, like anytime they have seminars or whatever, or they like send pamphlets to your home, like they have posters for this movie, and they're like, "Go watch this movie." Because, like I said, like at the end of the day, like you said that Nicholson's character here's a dick, like he's an asshole. Like that might be true, but at least he's donating to this kid. And like the only way you even learn anything about him truly are to the letters, which is like a really cool narrative.
Like
setup.
He's got like
That
no
first
real friends
killed me.
whatsoever. Yeah, and you don't really know what he's really thinking, except for
Until
when he's
that
writing
first
those
letter.
letters. Yeah, I mean, no, this is perfect product placement for that movie. Is hey, if you're just a sad, miserable piece of shit and you have nothing in your life, you might make a difference in someone's life just by giving 77 cents a day. Hey, it's perfect. But
And it hit home for me at the end, like that final narration.
God, yeah. Like,
when he walks into his door after his road trip, where he's just like, because it sets it up so much in the beginning of the film. We're like, oh, I had these ambitions, I wanted to be Fortune 500 company, all that stuff, and then he gets to the end, he's like, I haven't done anything, and then he gets that letter, and I was like, oh man.
It really is weird. Like that's what I love about just how complex the role is. Just because I really do think he is an asshole. Like just a perfect example is the stuff with the
husband?
his daughter's fiance.
Yeah, Kathy Bates.
I mean
ex-husband.
it's weird because like at the same time, I feel like I see that his his whole thing of don't marry this guy is kind of validated because when specifically with the pyramid scheme when that's brought up, it's like okay, I see his worries, but
not pyramid
he's
scheme.
also
it's power. It's a power schedule.
Yeah, at the same time though, he just approaches it in such a dickish way where I'm just kind of like, yeah, fuck you, because clearly the guy is not that smart. But, he clearly cares for his daughter, and from what little we see of her, we can tell that it doesn't seem like she's stupid. It seems like she knows exactly what she's getting into, and, like, she'll be able to take care of herself. But I mean, it's just, when you get to the end, it's just kind of like, I failed. I'm just kind of thinking, like, oh, God, fuck you, and at the same time, well, I feel bad that you think that way, but, I mean, it's...
I mean, I sympathize with him though. Like he might. I mean, I'm an asshole too. I think everyone's an asshole
to
in a certain
some
way.
degree, yeah. But
it's how much you hide it from the public, and it's just like this guy worked this dead end job. Well, he was assistant president or whatever, but it's still life insurance. And so he works this job just to support his family, and then he finally retires, and he had to buy this RV, and his wife's getting married to this guy he doesn't like. And what happens? His
daughter's
like,
getting married, not his wife.
Right. Sorry, his daughter. And yeah, his wife croaks when he's getting ice cream. He has that whole thing to Nagoon. I got that right. Nagudu, where he's like, I hate my wife. She doesn't even let me piss while standing up. And like, even though he's very honest in that moment, I still thought that, you know, in a way he loved his wife, or at least he loved the things she did for him, or like not the comfort, but
Well, that's true
just the
of,
idea that there was someone to talk to, even if she cut him off all the time.
yeah, I mean, that's true of any relationship, though, is that you can't like each other 100% at the time. You know, people are going to get mad at some point, and
But he's
I don't know, I
telling
guess
the
as you get older,
starving-
yeah, you get more cranky and shit. But
he's telling the starving Tanzanian boy how much he hates her.
yeah, no, I mean, that seemed like the best in a way. I thought it was a nice slap in the face. It's like, yeah, he likes your letters. He doesn't understand English, but he's grateful for the money anyway. I mean, when you read about that kid's circumstances too, it's just like, God. I mean, it feels like he did make a difference, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I'm not sure. I got the idea of that just from that letter from the nun, that maybe everything he said no one heard, like anything at all, and yet even though he's
Maybe, I don't know. I
like,
think at least the nun read it. Maybe not to Nagundu, but to herself. Like, she sent the letter, right? Like, she didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it matters in the end. Like, it's not really about his arc or his journey. Because, I mean, this film's a lot of things. Like I said, it's about a series of shitty things that happen to him. Going through retirement, wife dying. He wants to visit his daughter because he feels bad for her, and she doesn't let him, so he goes on this road trip. And those kind of weird things that happen. Like the parking tickets he's getting, I guess, that are never really announced, but whatever.
yeah, but he's got retirement money. He's fine. I mean, did you see the house he lives in? He's gonna be fine. Like,
Well, it is Nebraska.
no,
But like, I think you'd make a better argument, and I mentioned this a minute ago. The shopping scene when he finally gets off his ass, where he's been just sitting at home for 2 weeks with trash piling up, and he has no food. He goes to the grocery store, and all he does is like Hungry Man Double XL and Red Baron Pizza and like everything from the frozen section, and all the while he's telling Gundu, he's like, yeah, like I still remember a couple of tricks from when I was a bachelor, and he like takes like 6 shopping carts of trash. Like I was laughing out loud. I don't know why, but
Now, have you ever
it
done
totally
that?
got to me.
have
Not
you ever
like
done
that?
No.
No.
I've done that, except with alcohol.
Alcohol.
It was in
I've had
that was in a
Venmo
group
trip
too.
like
Yeah,
that.
but
Yeah, in a group. I've had a Venmo trip.
yeah.
Like that.
So I mean, but I could relate to it on that level. I mean, that was a funny moment though.
It's like there's no redemption for this character, not even at the wedding when he does the speech, right? Like he swallows his pride. He tries to tell his daughter like 2 or 3 times, don't marry this doofus with a mullet. By the way, sick mullet, Dermot Mulroney. He should have rocked that for a little longer. he he passes up on sex. I mean, it's Kathy Bates, but whatever. And like his life's starting to look up, kind of. It's like all these series of shit things, and like he's on the road and he kind of like finds forgiveness. But then, like it's like happiness tries to find him, and he doesn't let it in until he has to. It's like the only real emotion he shows in the whole movie is the final shot.
Yeah, I mean,
He's just a boring, small, disinteresting character that doesn't affect anyone in the world. Except this one kid.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this interesting. I think it's just, I guess the title, it's simply about Schmidt. That's really all it is. But I mean, it's really, for me, it was just this movie about this selfish guy that really is just really, obviously old and cranky, and he's just pissed off because the world is not moving the way that he wants. I mean, like, I mean,
old and cranky isn't how I would describe him, though, because it's like, like he's definitely sad.
I thought I think he passed up sex with Kathy Bates mainly because he's really just ashamed that she's gonna be with that family. Yeah, I mean as funny as that scene was, like it's really that line where he just screams out, "Have you seen how these people live?" Like, I don't know if he was if his daughter was marrying a black guy, maybe it would hit more closer to home and be more about racism. But I mean, I don't know. It just seemed. I don't know. I just kind of hated this guy though for saying stuff like that. But I guess he does understand though in the end that people are being nice to him. I mean that wedding speech, like, I can't. Part of it is like is swallowing his pride, but then at the same time, parts of it feel genuine. Like some
of it, yeah.
That's what I love about the performance. Is like it's very understated. Like he's kind of trying to hide his true emotions throughout, and there's always. You're just never really sure of what's going on there, but I have to believe like there's some good stuff and some bad. Like even then I thought about it like while I was watching it, the thing with the waterbed, I want to say, oh, that's a lie, but then there was one moment.
No, that seemed real to me.
I mean, yeah, like there was one moment in the Winnebago where he's just kind of, I don't know, he's like stretching his back a little bit in pain, and I was like thinking, yeah, it might have really happened, but I don't know, with everything that he's done lately, you can't exactly be sure. I mean, it's kind of a tragedy. Yeah, I mean, he's clearly not a good guy in places, but I don't know, it's just it's a sad Jack, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the character that he started playing his later days. I mean, look at As Good as It Gets. It's pretty similar. Or
I haven't seen it.
Well,
yeah,
and then he's in something right after that too. Is the Nora Ephron movie? Not Nora Ephron. I mean, shit. What is it? It's complicated. It's the other one that's basically like the same movie.
What, Something's Gotta Give? Or
yeah. There you go. It's him and Keanu Reeves vying for the love of Diane Lane. Not Diane Lane.
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, Diane Keaton. It's like, that's just unlikely. But there's like a really cool scene at the end of that movie between Jack and Keanu. But I think, Schmidt, he's really understated, like you said. Like, his emotions are never really out there. And even though the title is about Schmidt, you learn almost nothing about him. And we've already said, like, yeah, through the letters, you get a little bit more of who he is. But even still, like, everything he does, you could look at it two ways. Like, you mentioned the waterbed. Like, I bought that 100%. Like, when everyone's in the room and all that. Because even when, like, Kathy Bates is taking care of him, which had a serious misery undertone to it, like, I was like, I don't know. And it's like, he didn't like his wife when he found those letters. He almost, like, killed his best friend. Yeah. And, like, he tells Nagundu, like, I hate how she has all these collections, and he's on the road and he buys the same things that she collects, and he's like, oh, I think she would like these.
I mean, the line is so blurred though between when he's lying and when stuff is actually, like, when he's actually in pain, or I mean, unless, I don't know, maybe that story about that dream could have been true for all we know.
Like, everything in this movie could be true.
Well, no, I mean, because like, I thought about that for a second. I did think about that for a second, but then it all came back to that scene where it's like, no, you bought her the cheapest casket. I did buy the cheapest one. Oh, and I bought her that Winnebago, and she's like, no, she paid for half of it. Well, what do you expect? It's her money. I mean, when he's trying to cover his ass like that, it really, that's like, proof right there.
If his Cadillac hadn't broken down, then he probably would never drove the Winnebago, right? So, like, I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't excuse him, like, being a dick for trying to cover his ass. Well, I mean, at that moment, you can tell he's trying to,
I got a lot from him. Like, one of my ambitions in life, I think anyone that enters the film industry or tries to, it's because they want to be remembered, unless they're just a pompous prick and they want to get money and become famous. But, like, I want something that I create to have a lasting impression on someone, especially someone that I don't know. I want, like, a story I tell to have reverberations. And like Jack Nicholson, Schmidt in this movie has a very similar life path that he projected for himself, and he just never got to actualize that. And it's sad because he does actuaries, but he doesn't even take pride in what he was best at. And then neither did his company. They threw away all of his archives, and the guy that replaced him was a prick and he didn't need his help. He came hat in hand, literally, to his office, his old office, which looked nothing like what it used to. And he's just trying to help out, and he's told, like,
also it looked more colorful.
You want to take our elevator ride?
When he came in too. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Like, when he in his office, like, you could make the argument that it was because he was leaving, it was his last day at work, but there's no way he ever had any decoration in there. I don't know. I think probably the most interesting scenes in this movie is when he gets invited to dinner in the RV and they have the beef stew in the RV park.
I felt that was forced, honestly.
It was weird when it happened. Especially
the guy just shows up. He's like, "Hey, can I come in?"
Yeah, but like the alone time he gets with the wife, like their interaction, like not only what she says, but then also his reaction to that. You're like, oh, okay.
Well, I think that's kind of, it's a bit of a cliche Jack Nicholson moment, and looking at the humor in it, I kind of found some funny stuff in there, but I don't know. I get annoyed every time I hear stuff like that, not just in movies, but in real life. I have a sense of people, and I can tell that
it is
you're just and it's not just in movies when real people
say
that to you. You have girls saying that. It's like, okay, sometimes they hit it right on the head.
I can sense your aura,
and
it's
sometimes
really
they're completely wrong. And I don't know. I try to be nice about it, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of that was, I think, a weak point in the movie for me. It was kind of a cliche way of ending that, but I don't know. I was honestly worried about him getting his jacket back, though, in the moment, if that counts for anything. Like, right when she's saying get out, and I was thinking, okay, but what about the jacket? Can I have my jacket back? Yeah, give him his jacket back. Maybe it's because he's all hunched over and just looking really sad and depressing. I mean,
it's just horny, come on.
Yeah, this is sad Jack, man. I mean...
Sad, Jack.
Yeah, very sad.
I think we've talked about all we can. I want to change it up the way we end this today. I don't know if you've ever looked at my written reviews when I used to do that. I mean, I kind of still do, but not really.
I do.
But I would give So I would give a graded scale out of 10. Blank dot blank. In other words, 100. What would you give this?
Well, my Letterboxd score is already a 4 out of 5. So you do the math. That's 8 out of 10. I do think it's a great movie. Yeah.
Is that the math though? Like, what would you give it?
What, out of 10?
Don't round it. Like, yeah. Well, out of 100, a blank.
Out of 100, I can only go by multiples of
stars.
I can only do my multiples of 5 here. I mean, because it's if I say 80 or 82, it's what's the real difference? I mean, yeah, like I would go with 80.
Our system, there's not a difference, but I think there is not 80 and 82, but I think there's a huge difference between like a 78 and 82.
I mean, it's a solid 80 with maybe a little more, because I mean there's things that, if you want me to really nitpick, like there's little things that go back and forth. Like I really like the score a lot in the quieter, more just moody moments, but when it has it's kind of like being like light and humorous, it almost feels like it belongs in a different movie. I don't know why. First one that's coming to mind just sounds like Wedding Crashers to me. You know what I mean?
I didn't even really notice the score, and I was listening to this with my headphones most of the time. And the final 20 minutes I took them off because my ears are getting claustrophobic. But I would give this like a 76, like a 7.6 out of 10. I really liked it. I thought, like Jack hasn't really done anything since this. Like he did The Departed a couple years after and The Bucket List, but he's kind of just glory days going to Laker games, which must suck for him.
Yeah,
sorry,
I really wish that someone would bring him back, because the rumor was that he had Alzheimer's, but he just said no, that's bullshit. There just aren't any good scripts out there. I can believe that. I mean, also look at that.
I mean, he's been working forever.
And look at what was it called? How Do You Know? I think the James Brooks one.
Yeah, I didn't
that's his
catch
last
that,
one.
but it was like 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not that good, and well, you can't blame him for that.
I mean, The Bucket List wasn't that good either, so
It wasn't bad. I mean,
it
was very much
a
on
Rob
the
Reiner
surface.
movie.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't bad. Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie.
It was nice at the time when I saw it.
Did you catch that there's a movie theater marquee that says Sideways in this?
I did not.
It says closed for business, and in the middle it says Sideways, 8 o'clock, 9:30 or whatever. And this was like a year before Sideways came out, or 2 years, I think. It's a really cool moment. So would you buy this for $1?
I would. I'd recommend watching it. I don't know if I'd see it again, but it is something that I definitely will remember.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. I hope it's been a pleasure. If you enjoyed it, you can find updates and when episodes go live on Facebook and Twitter at Dollar Reviews. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Brian Gillis, that's BryonGillis, and also under the same name on the lovely site Letterboxd, which acts as my film diary, where I rate the films I watch on an almost daily basis, write the occasional review, and even sometimes compile lists.
You can also find me on Twitter at S_MTX, and also follow my film diary at letterboxd.com. My username is also S_MTX. There I log everything I watch and sometimes write brief reviews.
If you'd like to contribute some talking points, maybe send us a film or two that you'd like for us to review, or just some feedback of any sort, you can do so by sending us an email to dollar.review@gmail.com.
And if you want to hear more of us, you can find our entire archive at dollarreviewspodcast.wordpress.com. We're also on iTunes, where you can download episodes and listen to us anywhere, and you can also hear us on SoundCloud and TuneIn Radio just by searching Dollar Reviews.
Until next time, keep the change.